Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Billie Piper's return. Now, I've done this as a separate episode to my review because I feel like there's a lot to discuss. I also feel like the reaction was at first positive, but there's a lot of people who, rightly so, they're entitled to their opinion. However, a lot of people are coming out saying that they actually dislike it. So I just want to put my thoughts out there because they're fairly positive to Billie Piper's return. Now, what I will say is I don't feel like it's as bad as people are making out because she hasn't actually been stated that she will be the 16th Doctor. It's just saying, as it said in the title sequence, Ncuti Gatwa is the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor, and introducing Billie Piper. So she hasn't actually been labelled as the 16th Doctor. Now, if she is, I still don't think that would be too bad of a thing, and I'll explain that in a second, but she hasn't actually been labelled as that, so for now, we don't actually know what's happening. So to sort of say Doctor Who's dead and this was a terrible mistake, we haven't actually seen what's happening. And to be fair, it has got people discussing Doctor Who as well. And don't forget as well, Doctor Who is now 62 years old. It has to sort of keep changing and doing new things all of the time. Yes, maybe sometimes they aren't going to get it right. Maybe this is going to be one of those instances. But at least Doctor Who's trying to be different in a way. Now, you could also say that it isn't being new by returning back to another character once again. You know, we had David Tennant back at the end of 2022, and now at the end of 2025 we've got Billie Piper back. However, I would say these things are different, and I personally actually feel like having David Tennant back was actually more damaging than having Billie Piper back, because to have an old Doctor back after Jodie Whittaker's era, I felt slightly sort of put a shadow over the 13th Doctor's era, sort of saying that was sort of a mistake and things were done wrong, and we're going to try and draw the fans back by having David Tennant. And I think having a Doctor back and then labelling them the 14th Doctor, I've never been keen on either now, and I have stated that multiple times. Whilst it isn't the end of the world, and it was handled, looking back on it, not too badly, I've never been a fan really having David Tennant appear twice, especially because of how heavily he has sort of been in Doctor Who multiple times throughout the sort of after his era really. We've had him in books, audio dramas, we've had him in the 50th anniversary, had him in a major part of the 60th anniversary, so really I don't feel it's that damaging. Now, having Billie Piper back, we don't know what's going on. I've heard the rumours that the reason this face has returned is because the Doctor channeled the regeneration energy through the console, and of course that links back to Bad Wolf, so that's something I'd be interested to see. But even if she is the 16th Doctor, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. If we could have David Tennant back as another Doctor, then there's nothing wrong really with having Billie Piper back, especially if she's going to be completely different to Rose. And I've also said that Billie Piper would actually make a really good Doctor. Two companions I'd love to see as the Doctor would, one, be Billie Piper, and two, Jenna Coleman, because I feel like they both do really well, and I could really see the sort of Billie Piper rocking a sort of really eccentric sort of costume for the 16th Doctor, so I would love to see it. But either way, I don't feel like it's as bad as people are making out. I feel like also a lot of people are disappointed that the 15th Doctor has left, and of course I'm disappointed in a way too, and a lot of people are saying like there's loose threads that haven't been explained. Whilst there are probably loose threads like Rogue, for example, I also feel like other things can be picked up in this new era. It's not like Russell T Davies is leaving, it's just Ncuti Gatwa, so all of these threads that have sort of been left, like the Boss or Susan, all of that can be explored in a new era as well. So whilst it would have been nice to see sort of Ncuti Gatwa see, or the 15th Doctor rather, see Susan again, we will get that in the future anyway, so yeah. But going back to Billie Piper, really, I just don't feel like it's as bad as people are making out. I personally left the cinema quite excited. I really like how we've sort of been given this as well. I feel like sort of regenerating and then just having it sort of cut off before we saw who the Doctor regenerated into could have been like a way to sort of cut off Doctor Who. So really to have this sort of discussion point is really interesting. I mean, it's got people talking. It was shown on the TV on BBC News of the Doctor turning into Billie Piper, and people also discussing, you know, is she the Doctor, isn't she the Doctor? So it's got people talking about Doctor Who, which is what it's all about. So yes, whilst some people will see it as a negative, and I can understand why, don't forget Doctor Who is all about change, and you know, they are going to try different things, and yeah, maybe it won't work out, but then again, the Doctor can just change again and just move on. And I don't actually feel like Billie Piper will be there for quite a long time either. It's not like she's going to be there for a few years. It feels like it's sort of a one-off thing, but either way, I'm excited to see it. But I just really want to put my thoughts out there because I don't feel it's as bad as people are making out personally. I don't feel like this is the end of Doctor Who. And for me personally, I've actually been quite excited to see it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're doing with Billie Piper as well. So yeah, I just really want to put my thoughts out there because I don't feel like, again, it's as bad as people are making out, whilst they're completely entitled to their opinions. For me, I don't feel like it's the end of Doctor Who as some people are making out. And I feel like we've sort of ended seasons and eras a lot worse than this really. So yeah, whilst it's probably not ideal to have another returning character from the mid-noughties from Doctor Who to make it look like they're sort of redoing it again. I don't feel it's that bad. Again, I think time will tell. Who knows, if it is pulled off quite badly, then yeah, maybe it will be quite damaging for Doctor Who. But then again, if it's pulled off quite well, then this will all be seen as an overreaction. So what I would say is probably just wait and see. It's Billie Piper either way, so we know she's a great actor. And Russell T Davies, some people are going to be quite controversial on that as well. I personally don't feel he's that bad. Some people say he's a great writer, some people say he's fallen off. It just depends who you talk to, really. But we've got Billie Piper and Russell T Davies writing it. I'm sure whatever happens, it's going to go really well anyway. I personally feel anyway. But yeah, just wanted to quickly put my thoughts out there because I don't feel like it's as bad as people are making out. But yeah, that's all there pretty much is to it. I feel like I've repeated myself a few times because, again, there's not much to say really. But yeah, of course, you're incredibly entitled to your opinion. I'd love to actually hear what your guys' opinions are, whether you're excited for this or why you sort of see this as a negative. I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to see you in my next video soon. Thank you for watching and take care.